Five Nights at Freddy's, a horror game released back in 2014 and created by a guy named Scott Cawthon. Five Nights at Freddy's became a huge hit after YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie, and other YouTubers found the game and launched it to the spotlight. And since then, Five Nights at Freddy's became one of the most popular indie game franchises of all time, getting numerous games on PC and even game consoles, books, merchandise, and of course, it developed a huge fanbase that got hooked on the games because of things like the gameplay, the characters, and of course, the deep and complex lore that the series is known for. Of course, many of you know I'm a big fan of this series. I love FNAF, and this franchise holds a really special place in my heart. Now, like I said, Five Nights at Freddy's is a big franchise, expanding from games, books, merchandise, and other stuff. But the one medium that the series have been trying to do for so long is of course a feature-length film. And believe me, they have been trying for several years. Ever since 2015, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie has been in development hell for almost a decade, with numerous script rewrites, changing directors, and even changing studios. But finally, at long last, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will finally come out on October 27th, 2023. But before that comes out, why don't we take a look back at this long development history of the film. In this video, we'll be talking about the 8-year development history of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. On April 2015, 8 months after the first game came out and 1 month after the third game came out, Scott announces that a Five Nights at Freddy's film adaptation is in the works and was going to be made by Warner Brothers, with Roy Lee, David Katzenberg, and Seth Grahame-Smith set to produce the film. Later in July 2015, it was announced that the film is going to be directed by Gil Kenan, the same guy who directed films like Monster House and that Poltergeist remake. He'll also be the director of the upcoming sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife. So far, things were looking good for the project, and fans were really excited to see Five Nights at Freddy's on the big screen. I think around 2016, images started spreading around featuring glimpses of the animatronics, with one of them looking like Foxy, the walls of the pizzeria, and a black and white photo of a kid and a guy in an Easter Bunny costume. But it turns out these images were not real. They were actually from an entirely different resource and were being used as references for the creative team behind the animatronics for the film. Anyways, after this, we haven't heard anything from the film for a while. But eventually in January 2017, Scott announced that the film has been suffering delays, roadblocks, and other problems. And because of this, the film was back in square one. This, and other future updates about the film, we'll get into that, kind of implies that Warner Brothers was making so many changes to Scott's film and causing problems and all that stuff. In the end, Scott did not like the direction Warner Brothers was taking the film. And because of that, Scott took away the rights from Warner Brothers and left. And that was the moment Warner Brothers' Five Nights at Freddy's movie was scrapped. Although later in 2019, Warner Brothers released the Banana Splits movie, a film that was very similar to FNAF, and there was even rumors that the script for the movie was originally supposed to be for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But I don't want to go into it because I want to focus on the main FNAF movie we're getting, so yeah. Two months later, on March 2017, on Twitter, Scott tweeted a picture of a director's chair that has the name Freddy on it. But most importantly, in the back, there's a big screen with text on the screen, reading Blumhouse Productions. And eventually, it was revealed that, well, yes, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will now be made by Blumhouse Productions, a studio primarily known for making horror movies like Paranormal Activity, the Insidious series, the Purge series, Get Out, the Halloween sequel trilogy, The Invisible Man, Black Phone, Megan, and recently, a new Exorcist film, The Exorcist Believer. This was exciting news because it means that the movie was not cancelled, it's just being made by another studio, and a horror movie studio at that. He also said that he will be a producer on the film, with the CEO and founder of the company, Jason Blum. But what about Gil Kenan? Will he still be directing the film? The answer is no. In June, he announced that he will no longer be directing the film. So, that sucks. However, on February 2018, it was announced that Chris Columbus, who is known for directing the first two Home Alone movies, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the first two Harry Potter movies, will be the new director of the FNAF movie. So that's pretty cool. Eventually, in August 2018, a well-known FNAF YouTuber, Dawko, did an interview with Scott Cawthon after beating 50/20 mode on Ultimate Custom Night. And he mentions how the production of the movie has been going pretty well, and he even mentioned some of the scrap screenplays. And apparently there were a lot, which ultimately led us to November 2020, when Scott made a Reddit post listing off all the scrap screenplays. Some of them are pretty interesting, like the Silver Eye screenplay, which is obviously an adaptation of the book, and a screenplay all about Cassidy, the spirit possessing Golden Freddy. Some of them sound pretty bad, like the Random Charlie screenplay, the Pawn Shop screenplay, the Mischief screenplay, and the Ghost Tracker screenplay. And some of them just sound so freaking weird. Like the F screenplay where it had an ending that turns out that the Freddy's Pizza place was actually a government hideout for some reason. The Insane screenplay that was going to focus on the Funtime animatronics and was going to be more of an action film. And Plushies Take Manhattan? Yeah, that's an actual script they wrote, like what in the actual hell? But finally, after all of this, they finally settled on a screenplay titled The Mike Screenplay. A screenplay Scott really liked and was like, yeah, let's make this into a movie. He doesn't mention the story of the screenplay, but since it's called The Mike Screenplay, it kind of implies that it'll focus on Mike Schmidt, the security guard from the first game. But yeah, they finally accepted a screenplay, and in the end of the post, he announced that the live-action film will officially start filming in spring 2021. This was exciting news. We're finally getting the FNAF movie, and once it starts filming, we're gonna get casting, set photos, and other things. And maybe, just maybe, the FNAF movie could finally come out in 2022. But then, the whole Scott Cawthon incident happened. I'm not going to go into it, but this ultimately led to the film being put on hold for a while. And unfortunately, things did not get any better because in September 2021, Jason Blum revealed that Chris Columbus will no longer be involved in the project. But it was still in active development. Of course, we all started to get extremely worried about the film. We were this close to finally getting the movie, but it all crashed down because, well, the film doesn't even have a director anymore. Fans started to worry that the film might actually get cancelled. We don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe a Five Nights at Freddy's movie wasn't meant to be. But then, in January 2022, Jason Blum revealed some more information. On a side note, on February 12, 2021, a film titled Willy's Wonderland was released. A film that got a lot of attention due to its similarities to FNAF, just like the Banana Splits movie. I'm not going to go into it because I want to focus on the FNAF movie in this video. What I am going to say is that this is a movie where Nicolas Cage beats the crap out of animatronics, and it's freaking glorious. Anyways, in an interview, Jason Blum said this.
On Freddy's, we are dangerously close. I will say that. We are dangerously close. I'm just saying we're dangerously close to more news. Dangerously close.
And that's all we heard from him. Of course, we were all extremely skeptical about what he said. But eventually, in August, it turns out he wasn't lying. Kind of, because it turns out by dangerously close, he meant several months. Yeah. Anyways, around FNAF's 8-year anniversary, Jason Blum revealed on Twitter that the FNAF animatronics are going to be made by the Jim Henson's Creature Shop. Sorry if I pronounced creature wrong, because I tried numerous times, but screw it. An iconic studio known for making things like The Muppets, Sesame Street, The Dark Crystal, the 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies from the 90s, the 2 Flintstones movies, and so many other things. Of course, this is exciting news. Not only it shows us that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is still happening, but it also shows that instead of CGI, they're actually going to build real animatronics for the film. Although, by the looks of it, it kind of looks like they're also going to be making costumes for the actors. And I'm pretty sure they're doing this because sometimes animatronics are very hard to work with. With them overheating a lot, they miswire all the time, and it could cause problems that they don't want to deal with. Also, since this is a horror movie, it'll most likely be low budget like most horror movies out there, including Blumhouse. So maybe in the film when the animatronics are performing on stage and stuff like that, they're going to use the real animatronics. But once it's nighttime and the animatronic starts moving around, going after people, maybe we can get a scene where Foxy runs down the hallway just like in the games. They're going to switch to people in costumes. But yeah, so far it looks pretty good. Looks like they're making some really faithful looking animatronics, and of course fans got really excited knowing that the FNAF movie is still happening. And then, in October, Jason Blum revealed 3 things about the movie on Twitter. First, he revealed that the Jim Henson's Creature Shop is going to be working on the animatronics, which, yeah, we already knew that. I mean, he already told us that, so, yeah. But then, he revealed that they finally found a new director for the film. And now, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will now be directed by Emma Tammy. Now, by looking at her IMDb, she's a very small filmmaker who only directed one film, The Wade, which got mixed reviews. But hey, maybe the film is still in good hands with this new director, and many people were worried yet curious about what she's going to do with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And the third and final thing Jason Blum revealed is that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will officially start filming in February 2023. Of course, we were all skeptical about that last part, because last time they said that the movie will start filming in March 2021, but that didn't happen, so we were worried that filming may not happen again. However, in December 2022, it was announced that Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Lillard has been casted for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This was big news. We're finally getting castings for the movie, and later on, we've been hearing more and more castings for the movie. And I'm going to list off the confirmed cast we have. First, we have Josh Hutcherson, who has been confirmed to play Mike Smith, Piper Rubio as Mike's sister, Abby, Elizabeth Lail as Vanessa, although it's not the same Vanessa from Security Breach. And of course, the one casting that many people went crazy over was Matthew Lillard as William Afton. That's right, Shaggy is gonna be our purple guy. Hell yes. Of course, this casting led to a bunch of memes. Also, from what I've heard, he was pretty good in the original Scream movie from 1996, and I can see why they casted him for the movie. Later, we heard more castings for the movie, like Kat Connor Sterling as a character named Max, who is an original character, not from the games or books, and Christian Stokes as a character named Hank, which many people theorize that could be a nickname for Henry Emily, although it turns out it's not the same character, unfortunately. But finally, on February 1st, 2023, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie has officially started filming. And of course, with that, we get a lot of set photos and videos. There's this one that Jason Blum posted, showing them filming a scene, and there's even a Venny pop figure here. Another photo showing an ice cream shop in the mall, and it features Chica's Magic Rainbow from FNAF World? Aw, crap.
You still suck, dumbass.
There's a video showing what looks like Mike Schmidt punching someone in the fountain, and what looks like the same mall where the ice cream shop is. This video shows that Mike used to work here as a security guard, but after this event, he gets fired, and that ultimately led him to apply for a job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Speaking of that, we got a lot of set photos and videos of the pizzeria, specifically the outside, and it looks really cool, although it's more of a facade they build so they can shoot some scenes that takes place outside of the restaurant. By the way, there's only one photo that shows one of the animatronics, and it's this one right here, but it's very far away, so it's hard to tell that's Freddy or Golden Freddy. Eventually, they wrapped up filming on April 3rd, 2023, and 2 days later on April 5th, 2023, which is the same day the Super Mario Bros. Movie came out, Jason Blum announces that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie will officially come out on October 27th, 2023. Also, they revealed this teaser image of what looks like Golden Freddy and Abby standing outside the pizzeria. Of course, this was exciting news. After 8 years, we're finally getting the FNAF movie, and in a few months, we may get the trailer for the movie. Unfortunately, the trailer got leaked. Yep, on May 2023, someone leaked an unfinished version of the FNAF movie trailer. And of course, many people were not happy about this, and Scott even made a statement about the situation on Reddit, saying that he was spending time with his family at an amusement park until he got countless emails and messages about the leak. Like, oh god, poor Scott. But luckily, a bunch of YouTubers, Twitter users, and even Reddit users refused to watch the leaked trailer, and even moderators of the FNAF Reddit took a stand against allowing any discussion of it. But eventually, on May 16th, Jason Blum did a 3-hour countdown to finally reveal the FNAF movie poster, with additional character posters, and these look awesome. Sure, the purple filter kind of makes it look like a fan render, but still, this is a pretty cool poster. Kind of reminds me of the FNAF 2 menu. Along with this, they also released an official teaser trailer for the movie. And, well, wow. Just seeing this teaser trailer feels so insane and surreal. Like, this movie is actually happening, which is insane. And the teaser itself was pretty cool. We got a good look of the characters, the look of the pizzeria, and of course, the animatronics. So far, the movie looks pretty good, and the fans really like the teaser trailer. But there is one thing that a bunch of fans did not like about the trailer. That being the animatronics in this movie will have red eyes, instead of black eyes with white dots, just like in the games. While yes, I don't like the red eyes either, not only it looks goofy, but also kind of generic. Like, there's already a bunch of horror movies featuring characters with red eyes, like that Child's Play remake. But I'm not gonna act like this is gonna ruin the movie. For me, it's not a big deal. Because, well, that's the only problem I have with the trailer. Everything else looks great, and I'm just really happy we're finally getting the movie. Eventually, 1 month later on June 27th, they released the full official trailer for the movie, which was basically the leaked trailer, but with some changes. And well, it was another great trailer. We got to see more of the animatronics, characters like Mike Schmidt and William Afton, who in this movie, he goes by Steve Raglan, which is one of his fake names. Although I do wish they used the name Dave Miller, one of his fake names from the books. We also see YouTuber cameos, like Dako in the Employee of the Month board, with other FNAF YouTubers, Corey X Kenjin as a taxi driver.
Where to?
Oops, wrong clip. And others who actually visit the set of the movie, which is pretty cool. And of course, during the end, we saw this.
Bobby, go!
Yep, that's right. Springtrap is in this movie. Well, technically it's the Spring Bonnie suit, but still, that shot of him holding a knife like a freaking slasher villain, like holy crap, that's awesome. So yeah, that was another great trailer, and me and many other people were even more excited to see this movie. However, in July, it was revealed that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was going to be PG-13. Fans were not happy with this decision, with many of them wishing for an R rating instead. While yes, the series had a messed up story about kids getting murdered and stuff, the games were not overly graphic to warrant an R rating. Heck, when the games were ported to consoles, all of them have been rated a T for teen, which is the video game equivalent of a PG-13. What made the original game scary was its atmosphere and mystery. The goriest FNAF has ever gotten was the FNAF 1 Game Over screen and the Springtrap Death screen. But even then, both of them are pretty tame. Like, both of them don't even show any blood. And while we do see some blood in the minigames, like I said, they're just minigames. We only see it in that form, so the charm of it is still intact. In the end, I believe that the PG-13 rating will not be a detriment to the film. And there are plenty of good PG-13 horror movies out there. Even Blumhouse made some PG-13 horror movies that I heard were pretty good. Not to mention, the film has been rated a PG-13 for language, strong violent content, and even bloody images, so it won't be a tame PG-13 at least. There are other things that fans were concerned about, like how not only the film is going to be released in theaters, but also on Peacock, just like what they did with Halloween Ends. Honestly, I don't think this is a big issue. Like, I still think the film is going to do well at the box office, not only because of the huge fan base and the film's low budget, which is around $25 million, but also, Peacock? Who the hell has Peacock? Then again, Peacock has been getting a lot of attention recently. Like, I heard that Sick movie was pretty good. But yeah, I think the film is gonna do just fine in theaters. Anyways, on August 30th, they showed us some new posters that features the animatronics in the ball pit, which is pretty cool. Especially the cupcake one, like holy crap, I love this poster so much. Along with this, they also released the second and potentially the final trailer for the movie. And holy crap, that was another awesome trailer. Once again, we see more of the animatronics, and they look great. Like, I really love this shot of Foxy here. It looks really cool. Also, we get to see him run down the hallway, which is great. Although the running looks a bit stiff, which is kind of funny to be honest. We also see something interesting in this trailer. It looks like they're having the ghost kids appear to the victims and lure them in. And that's when we get the part where a ghost hand came out of Freddy's mouth, grabbed the Max character, and pulled her in, possibly killing her. And of course, it brings us to the final part of the trailer, where it showed us this.
It's too late. He's coming.
Wow. Like, what can I even say about this part? The lighting, the suit, the glowing eyes, that freaking William Afton giggling. Just wow. Me and many other people absolutely love this part, and it shows how Matthew Lillard was the perfect casting for William Afton. After this trailer, we got more information about the film. For a while, we heard rumors that the film will be 3 hours long, like holy crap. But eventually, it was revealed that the film will actually be 1 hour and 49 minutes, which, yeah, that sounds like a reasonable runtime. Although I wish it was longer, like maybe 2 hours. Later, it was revealed that the Newton brothers are going to be the composers for the movie. So that's pretty cool. Also, there's this event called Halloween Horror Nights, which is a Halloween-themed event at Universal Studios, and it features a new zone all about Blumhouse, called Blumhouse Behind the Scream, and it features a bunch of Blumhouse stuff, including, you guessed it, Five Nights at Freddy's, most notably the animatronic costumes on display. And holy crap, I wish I was there. This looks awesome. Also, the marketing for this movie has been crazy, with a new poster, numerous trailers and TV spots, billboards, and other things like this bus right here. And there's even a pizzeria themed location in Los Angeles, which is awesome. At this point, the movie is almost done and ready to go. Unfortunately, with the actor strike still going on, the cast can't do any interviews, promotional material, or even attend the movie premiere, which really sucks. But yeah, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is almost ready, and it will finally come out on October 27th, 2023. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie has to be the biggest cinematic roller coaster in recent memory. This movie has been in the works for almost a decade, and the fact that this movie is almost here is just insane to think about. And sometimes, all the stuff I told you about the film's development shows us one thing. The people making this movie, Scott, Blum, Tammy, and others, really do care about what they were working with. They really cared about this film, and they wanted to make the movie the best it could be, even if it took them almost a decade to do so. I'm so happy we're finally getting the movie, and I hope this video game movie is just as great as the recent video game movies we've been receiving. The film is already considered to be a box office hit, and for a while, they've been talking about the possibilities of a trilogy happening if the first movie succeeds, which, after seeing this, the possibilities of a FNAF movie trilogy is very high at this point. The movie is coming out in a few days, and me and many other people are extremely excited to see Five Nights at Freddy's on the big screen. So yeah, this has been the 8-year development history of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.